Alright, this is Geordie Prepper and I'm doing some knife maintenance today. I bought Morakniv years ago. I mean, this is one of the first items that I actually bought as part of my preps. You know, they're really good price, but they're actually really good knives. This is the carbon steel. You can see here though that, you know, I mean, I do sharpen the edge every now and then. It's actually been a while since the last time I did it. But you can see here that there's a build up on the knife, both on the knife's edge and actually on the blade itself, on this part. And you know, I've experimented with various things because the reason I got this knife was it's really cheap. It's carbon steel. Carbon steel needs more looking after than like stainless steel. You know, it's susceptible to rust. And you know, I just really wanted to get a cheap knife which, if I did any damage to it from maintaining it, then it was no big loss. But it's obviously better to do it on this sort of cost knife than, you know, a knife that costs hundreds of pounds. But you can see here the build up on there. Partly that's due to the experimenting, and some of that is actually like candle wax, because I heard that candle wax can form a good barrier to protect it from water. But anyways, you can see there the black sooty stuff as well, which I think is actually carbon itself. So what I wanted to do was just touch up the knife, maintain it, and then I'm going to sharpen it, which I'll show in the next video. But basically what I did was I got a sanding block, and I've already done it to this side. I haven't done it up to the knife's edge. Well, on the knife's edge, you know, I've done it up to the knife's edge. But you can see there that it's free of all the black sootiness, and it actually looks more like, you know, when I first bought it. And it's a pretty rough sanding block. I mean, I need to get a finer one. Indeed, you could start with a rougher one and then you could work to a finer one, depending on, you know, how much build up there is. But it's just an experiment really, so I just thought I'd show you what I do. So I've already done this side, so we'll just do this side. So that's the mucky side. That's the side that's got stuff on it that we just want to get rid of. That's the side we've already done. I'm just doing it on that bit because I'm going to sharpen the blade in the future, and that'll get rid of anything that's on the actual sharpened edge. So this is the side that we're going to do, and basically all I did was I just placed it on there like that. And you want the blade obviously facing away from you. And basically what I did, just got to make sure that it's flat on the block and just rub it. If you have something that can actually hold the block, then you know, you could put your fingers on it and then you could rub it, but I don't, so I just do it like that. And then just do further along. Just make sure obviously you're doing the flat. Make sure that you're just doing this part of the blade. You know, we don't want to cause any uneven grinding on the actual sharpened edge. So, and this is a Scandi grind. So, if you're careful, you know, if you just lay it flat on there, then it should be okay. So we'll just take a look at it. Yeah, it's looking better. This side is the more gunked up though, so it's going to take a bit longer. You could also use the thinner edge there if you just want to work on a particular area. It is looking better. You can't really tell on the camera, but I'll work on it and then I'll show you the finished result. Alright, so I was just working on it just for a couple of minutes. You can see that most of that black sooty build-up. Well, I hope you can see it. The camera's not really picking it up that well, but I hope you can see that it's much better. There's less crud on the actual blade now. The actual knife's edge, the sharpened edge, you know, I'm not touching that. And it's not really about the aesthetics of it, you know. I don't really want the best looking knife in the world. I just want the best performing, and I think with all that crud off it, then I could be able to put more of some protective layers on it. I could put some oil on it. That'll keep the water off it. And if you've already got some rust on your carbon blade, then you'll need something a little bit harsh to take it off, but you don't want to go too harsh. I mean, the block that I got is a little bit too rough actually, but it was the only one that had, so you could certainly use a rough one to begin with if you've got a lot of build up on it, and then you could obviously go to like a really fine grit just on the actual bit there, but obviously without touching the sharpened edge. You don't want to ruin that. That's best left to sharpening stones. Well, that's it anyways. I just thought I'd show that, a bit of knife maintenance. Make sure to keep your gear in check, maintained, and ready for when you'll need it. So be safe, be prepared. This is Geordie Prepper, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be the sharpening of the actual blade and how I sharpen this knife.